So awesome.
Yes. Cool.
The question on everybody's mind today is, are we gonna buy a machine? Are we gonna do it? Are we gonna spend money we don't have? All for the efforts of building more cool rocket aerospace parts? Stay tuned. He's still getting up over there. I'm gonna go to a camera store while he gets ready. Film store trip was very successful. I got this bad boy. I'm gonna run around IMTS taking a bunch of black and white pictures looking like a cliche hipster, but I don't care. It's gonna be cool. I'm gonna love it. So we have a press badge. That's pretty sick. Never gotten one of those before. Now we're gonna go talk to cool software companies. Guys who spend their life trying to make life easier for people like me. Now, we are headed to my favorite software company ever. You guys that have watched this channel in the past, you know that that company is Paperless Parts. I love their story, I love who they are, I love the people that work there, and I absolutely love the product. I'm beyond a super fan. These guys built a piece of software that just transformed how I managed my business and how I just viewed like handling data and leveraging good software to grow my company. So just hung out at the Paperless booth for a while, did not shoot any video. It was great catching up with those guys. Now Ryan and I were gonna go see Fulcrum, but Fulcrum has bounced. They are no longer in the building. They left the show early, so unfortunately we won't get to hang out with those guys. We are now at the Autodesk booth. For those of you that know me well, you know I have a very bittersweet relationship with Autodesk. They provide now our CAM software and our design software. However, these people are raging assholes. They will threaten to sue you if they think that you have overused their product. When I was using their product Inventor, they didn't have software to meter usage or to alert their clients if the product was being overused, and guys in my shop were using Inventor to essentially check dimensions on their fabricated weldments. And what happened was Autodesk found out, and they came at me and they threatened to sue me for a massive amount of money. They wouldn't talk to me on the phone. They wanted to get legal involved. They're not a very great company. They don't treat their users well. I finally met Juistin from Toolpath here. Juistin, say hi.
Hey everyone.
So Juistin is going to give us a quick demo on his software, which is AI-powered toolpath generation. Something
and
that's
estimation.
And estimation.
Yeah.
Oh, paperless parts.
More.
Watch out.
No, we don't compete with paperless.
Not at all?
No, it's coming.
Oh, I'm really excited to see this. Okay. We're here in the Toolpath booth with Juistin. Like I just said, he's about to give us a demo. This is
Toolpath's AI estimation and CAM automation platform. So the way this works is you upload a step file, and it'll take somewhere between 2 and 10 minutes to process your part. It'll be around 2 to 3 minutes usually. And when you open it up, you're going to see all of this information. So it's completely automated, and it provides a notional or a preliminary machining strategy for you. So this is the view you'd be presented with. And the goal here is to help you quickly triage a part. Figure out whether it's good for your shop, figure out whether you have the tools to make it, and then once you decide quickly if you want to quote that part, dive in a little deeper. So the idea is to really get you to a yes or no on a part quickly, because you should be no quoting more parts, and you should be quoting more parts. And and everything in between. So here, when you upload your part, what you see is anything green is something you can machine. Anything red, you can't machine it because you don't have a tool for it. So I'll just point out here, we have some pretty kick-ass feature ID. So one of the features that you can't machine is a T-slot. As far as I know, we're the only folks that have feature ID with undercut features for T-slots, back chamfers, and like dovetail walls.
Paperless Parts doesn't have that in
I
there?
don't think so, no.
Okay, cool.
So here we've ID'd that there's a T-slot here and there's an undercut, but you don't have a tool for it. But that's with this cut config. Because in Toolpath, you provide your tool library and you set it up. You can have more than one. Maybe you have one for your 3-axis and your 5-axis, or your aluminum and your steel. Or maybe you want to use our unicorn tool library that has everything in it from like a 1/16 to a 1/2-inch end mill all the way up to 10XD. Right? And so this is like a really good sanity DFM check. If you can't make it with this library, for at least most reasonably sized parts, then you probably can't make it. So here you see it's all green now, 100%. But that means you have tools to make everything. But again, we're focused on quickly triaging the part here.
Does this identify what tools are needed to create the part?
It does.
Like, you look at the CAD, the software looks at the CAD model, and it spits out a tool list. Oh, I think he just pulled it up here.
Yeah.
So these are all the tools required to produce the part.
Now, Toolpath is a pretty young software. This is not the minimum possible set of tools, but it will choose, and we can get into that, it will choose from like your core tools. If you use core tools, it'll prefer those tools over other tools. So if you have a core tool library set up, you basically want your parts made out of those tools if it can be, and Toolpath lets you set that up. It gives you a lot of control.
You know, my favorite thing, so just looking at your interface so far, the thing that really stands out to me is this.
We're gonna get there.
Oh, okay.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
So I just see...
I got more stuff to show you first.
API connection to diffusion. Right. That's awesome.
So this whole part is machinable. You have tools to machine it, but some of these guys have marked deviations on them. That's what this icon means. I'm going to click this yellow one, and it's going to highlight this feature, and it immediately showed you a sharp corner, and this little virtual tool is telling you, hey, this 1/16 inch end mill, when it mills that corner, is going to have a 2.5 thou deviation. Now, a lot of parts are plus or minus 5 thou these days.
Yeah.
If I'm making that part, I'll probably just cut it and send it to the customer. It's good enough.
Yeah.
But if this is some crazy aerospace part, you know, plus or minus 2/10, I can't, this is not good enough, right? Yeah. So we let you configure what your tolerance limits are for where it alarms. Like green is basically like, hey, there was a 1/10 deviation here, but there was a deviation, but go ahead and cut it, I don't care. And we set ours up with like 5 thou right now on this demo being the limit, where above that, it's a red feature. Below that, it's a yellow feature, but it's gonna show you like, hey, here's your deviation. Yeah. And lets you as a machinist decide like, is this a problem for me? Do I need to go back to the customer and ask them to change the design? Or am I just gonna send it, right?
So let me just ask you this question really quick. I'm gonna jump in here and interrupt you. You just described a process that happens on a regular basis in most shops.
Yeah.
The identifying a feature that can't be created, reaching out to the client and asking for a revision or a
deviation allowance.
Yeah, deviation allowance.
Change allowance, change order. Yeah.
So do you imagine ever automating that process? Like
maybe someday. It's not our core focus right now.
Okay.
But maybe someday we would add that kind of interaction with the customer. And there's a couple of really good companies out there. My personal favorite one is Flute. They do a really good job of like maintaining the communication with the customer for 3D parts. So our goal is to get you that information as quickly as possible. And right now I would say just take a screenshot. This is way better of a screenshot to send your customer than just, hey, can you fix the sharp corner with like a red line, right? Or you can just send them this and be like, hey, I'm gonna use a 1/16 end mill. There's gonna be a little radius in there, 2 thou, are you cool with that, right? So again, how quickly can we get you through this part to figure out if it's a good part for you or not? So we're going to show you an estimate, right? But as part of that estimate, we have an entire machining strategy backing that. So again, this was all hands off here, but this is a 4-op part. Now, if I was quoting this part, I have to be honest with you, and admittedly this is a demo, but I would quote this as a 3-op part, right? 1-op here, flip it over, 2-op, and then I can see these side features here. So you're going to turn it on end and do those. But Toolpath, it says, is a 4-op part, right? So here's your first op. I can click on this and see what features are going to be machined. Here's op 3. Okay, it's going to just do these 2 features from the side.
Can you click on op 1 again?
Yeah.
There was something on go to op 2. I thought I saw the hat that would be left over if you were going to machine it.
No, the part has an overhang on it.
Oh, gotcha.
We are working on in-process geometry simulation. Check back in about 2 months.
Okay.
And we'll be able to show it to you. So here's op 3, like this, right? Yep. And it's nice to just quickly see, like, okay, those are the features it thinks it can do op 3. What's in op 4? Oh, it's this one little side hole that ruins your whole quote, right? That's the kind of feature you miss if you're trying to quote it quickly and get something out to the customer. Now, I'm sure there's lots of shops out there that are better at quoting at me, but I have personally missed side holes like this on a part and screwed up a quote. Now, hopefully it's not a big deal. If you're making one of them, it's an extra setup, not the end of the world. Yeah. But this part's 5.3 inches tall. There's a chance, depending on your machine, you don't have the Z height to drill that hole. And now you're in big trouble. You can't finish the part. Or maybe you're making 1,000 of them and your time estimate didn't account for an extra setup. So again, how quickly can we triage this part to get you to a yes or no? And can we give you like this ladder of spending small increments of time to get to like quoting so that you can bail out of the process quickly? So you've triaged the part, you've decided it's a good part for you, you've got the tools, you're happy with it, or you know you can order the tools. Now we're going to show you an estimate. So here we're estimating 44 minutes of runtime for this part. Now that's what Toolpath thinks it'll cost, and that's using your tools and your fees and speeds. But maybe you're a really great machinist and you're pretty sure you can machine that in 28 minutes, right? So there's 2 ways you can go to try and figure out what the AI thought was going to take all the time. You can look at a feature by feature breakdown like this, and you can see, okay, well, there's like these 5-minute pockets, and you can zoom in and realize, like, okay, you know, it's using quite a lot of tools, it's doing a lot of roughing, a lot of finishing, things like that. The finishing with that 1/16 inch end mill is going to take a long time because there's some sharp corners. You know, maybe you think that's okay. Maybe you're going to do a hybrid finishing strategy where you use a bigger tool and just dress the corners. So maybe you can knock some time out there. But if you're still not sure exactly what's going on, we also show you this strategy tab. So here, you're going in the same kind of setup that you would see like if you programmed it yourself. So here's your face mill, your finishing tool, then your roughing path, and then your next roughing pass. So it's going to tell you like, hey, this is the order that I think you should machine this in. I, the AI, being it. And the goal here is to have Toolpath really show you its homework, show you where everything came from. The worst thing in the world is to have a black box AI that spits out a number like 40 minutes and you have no idea where it came from. Or a bunch of tool paths and you have to check them all manually. So here,
I'm just gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna make a prediction. In the next 2 years, Paperless Parts is gonna buy this guy's company.
So the idea here is really show you as much of the information as we can so that you build trust with the AI, and when you don't like what it's doing, we give you the tools to tell it how to change. Because at Toolpath, we think you should tell the AI how to program, not the other way around. The AI shouldn't tell you. This AI needs to be configured with cut configs. That's what these are. The cut config that I build will be different than the cut config that you build. The same part in our from Toolpath, from my shop and your shop, should give a different answer. And we feel pretty strongly about that. So the last thing I'll show you is this button up here. Now, this is a preview beta feature. I'm going to click Open in Fusion, and it's going to open the part in Fusion and auto-program it. Now, I'm going to be upfront with you guys. This last mile to Fusion is the roughest part of the product right now. Oh, yeah. So we are selling the estimating product for $7.99 a year as a site license for any shop. Our plan is to give away our Toolpath AI until it's more fully baked. When it's baked, we plan to do some kind of a consumption-based pricing model. We're not exactly sure how that's going to work, but the idea is that as we help you get better at making parts, we'll charge you more. And then as you make more parts, you'll make more money. You'll be thrilled to pay us a small percentage of that. So we make you more efficient. We're aligned with your needs as the customer, and our goal is to make you more efficient. We're happy to make you twice as efficient because you then pay us twice as much. So we're not just focused on selling seats of software, we're focused on making machinists more efficient. Gotcha. We believe as a community that we have to make 10 times as many parts with, if we're lucky, twice as many people, but as the rate things are going, half as many people. 10 times as many parts, half as many people, we have to be 20 times more productive. And so we want to align ourselves with that mission of making you more productive as a machinist.
How many users do you have so far?
We have a couple dozen paying customers right now. We only launched the product a few months ago. IMTS was our big coming out party.
Yeah, and you said it's $7.99 a year?
$7.99 a year for the estimating product.
$799 a year for the estimating product. Oh man, where's my credit card? take my money.
You know, it's not the jobs you quote right that kill you, it's the jobs you quote wrong. It only has to save you from quoting one job wrong to make its money back.
Okay, one thing we haven't seen in this demo is a lathe part.
We don't support lathes yet. I did have one customer come up at IMTS and beg for lathe support.
Yeah.
I told him no 7 times.
I'm begging you for lathe support.
So right now what we're showing is this Open Infusion beta. Just so that everybody knows, we have a plugin for Fusion 360 that's over here. The product itself right now uses the plugin. At IMTS, we're showing you beta that uses Fusion automation services.
Yeah.
We're not ready to release that publicly yet. We're working with Fusion. When they're ready to release Fusion automation services, we'll be able to release the Open Infusion.
So Fusion is the roadblock.
We're working together with them, yeah.
Yeah, but they're the gatekeepers more or less.
We're working on their timeline for releasing Fusion automation, and we're helping them to test that product, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So the overall answer you get will be the same, but the user interface will be a little different. I just don't want your users to see something different and think, hey, it's not what he showed.
Yeah. So how does this product compare to something like Cam Assist?
I think there's space in the market for both of us. We take different philosophies for how to program a part, but I would say the key difference here is that we have a big web UI that really shows you what the AI was thinking and how it programmed the part and where that data came from.
Yep.
And Cam Assist from Cloud NC is focused more on tight integration with Fusion. I think they're coming out with Mastercam and NX integrations, but they don't have a web portal to explain how the AI thinks.
Gotcha. Okay. I think I was out of focus earlier when I did this. All right, there you have it. That's Juistin Gray from Toolpath. Thanks for watching. Holy mother of pearl. 3D printed goodness. Whoa. Look at all that. Look at those exhaust covers. Look at those wishbones. First roll of film for my new camera. Today, on this episode of Jonathan Looks Homeless, we go to IMTS.
I'm right here. What you need?
And look at machines with Ryan. What do we need to do, Ryan?
We're gonna buy a machine.
We are going to buy a machine. Our whole goal is to not buy a machine. We succeeded in making it this far. 2 days at IMTS, we haven't bought a machine. I want to show you really quick what these current machines can do. These things are incredible. Check this out. Well, cool, man. I'll see you around.
Yeah.
Bye. That was Kern. They're super down to earth. For a company that makes $1 million micro machine, those guys are pretty down to earth and not snooty at all. Like, just solid dudes, man. Let me show you one more thing that is absolutely insane. Look at that Corvette up in the air. Look at that thing. The robot is just moving it around like it weighs nothing. Welcome back to We Do Dumb Shit with Ryan and Jonathan. Today we're in the Hermle booth. And we're in the Hermle booth because these guys make an incredible machine that he and I are both really excited about. And we're looking at the C400. Ryan, what are your thoughts on the C400?
Shit bugs. Wait, can we not cuss on our channel?
Profane. We're like looking around to make sure nobody hears us. It made that amazing Volkswagen bus. You know what? I'm gonna go get some parts to show you. Check out this incredible part. I mean, look at this thing. It's so complex. It's so beautiful. It's so awesome. What do you think of this part, Ryan?
It's pretty nice. I could do that now.
Ryan thinks he could do this part. So of all the machining samples I've seen at the show so far, this one by far is my favorite. It is just the most thoughtful, interesting, artistic piece here. Check it out. So the body of this bus was machined from a single chunk of aluminum. I was told they scanned a Volkswagen bus and then they scaled down the model and they threw it in a machine over here that I'm going to show you in a second that actually has one of the buses being built. They've been cutting on it for the last few days. Check this thing out. This is unreal. Look at that. That is being cut on this machine. It's just crazy, but the surface finishes are unreal. So this starts off as almost a 1 meter long block of aluminum, and they start by coring out the inside of the bus. Then they flip it over and they bolt it down to some more folding, and they machine the outside of it, which is where the real art happens. I'm going to show you it complete in the cabinet now.
So how
I
many,
would sell my house and live in that machine.
how many monies could we make with this?
We need to leave right now because you and I have both fallen in love with this Hermle 400. We did not buy a machine.
It was kind of a failure, actually. Like, you succeeded, but I failed. Like, my job was to buy a machine, not mine.
I win for now. In reality, we're probably going to buy a machine next week. Well, you made it through security fast.
It's because I don't look sketchy like you do.